Hey guys, and welcome to episode 57 of One Team, One Dream, Into the Woods. My name is James, and on today's episode, we have two key fixtures that could propel us back into the playoff picture. Firstly, we face 5th place Huddersfield, and then we welcome 8th place Wigan to Meadow Park. Since the last episode, unfortunately, the miserable form continued. We managed to get that win against Bristol Rovers in the last episode. And we had probably one of the worst months we've had for a number of seasons. We only managed the one win just at the back end of the season as we managed to turn the form around. And since then we've actually managed 4 back-to-back wins. Weirdly, us winning actually coincided with the injury to Ben Tricker, who was injured in and amongst these games here, was actually out for this period, but so was Kirk as well. So we actually had to bring in Billy Martin, our youngster, who did fantastically well in the games while those two players were injured. And so, which is starting to make me think that maybe Tricker is the weak link at the back. He's not very fast. He's actually the slowest of the 4 defenders. In every other area, Thomas and Kirk are in fact better than Tricker, so it's something we may have to maybe look at during the summer, whether we actually keep Tricker or cash in on him. I know that Tranmere are currently wants him on a transfer, so maybe look at that. But I think we'll see how the rest of the season go before that happens. So with those 4 wins, it means we're only 1 point off of the playoffs. It does mean we're down in 10th place still. So this upper half of the table is very close. But we're still only 7 points off of automatic promotion. But with us deep in January, I think that's probably going to be a pipe dream. But we do have 2 games on the 3 teams directly above us, and a single game on everyone above us. And so with one of those being played today against Huddersfield as well, that is why these games are so key in terms of getting us back in that promotion mix. The only other bit of news, we did bring in one player, Sofiane Diop. I'm sure somebody will be able to tell me that I'm pronouncing that wrong, but he brought him in on a free. He was actually at Monaco, playing in a mixture of their first and second teams. Last season was obviously released in the summer, but I have managed to pick him up on a free. So only played 1 game so far, but he will be starting today. We are paying a lot of money for him though, £4,900 a week. He is by about £2,000 a week, the most expensive wage we have on the books. But he has come in valued at £6 million. So even if he only lasted a summer and we managed to get anywhere near that valuation, if we would look to sell him on, that is definitely my good piece of business. 25-year-old. He can play anywhere in the midfield. He's currently playing for us out on that left-hand side as an inverted winger. The one thing that does baffle me is that he is in fact French, and yet even with the foreign player rules, we will still manage to bring him in, even though he's not an international French player. I don't know if anybody down in the comments can let me know how I managed to bring him in, but I'm not going to question how. All that we have to worry about is what he does while he is here. Hopefully he can get off to a good start today in 2 key fixtures. So with all the news out the way, let's get into the first match of today's episode as we face playoff chasing Huddersfield with an opportunity to not necessarily replace them in the playoff picture, but to join them up there in the top 6.
And this is the team that is going to face them today. We have Huddart in goal, a backcourt Divine, Thomas, Kirk and Charles. Kirk just coming back from his injury, so he's still fully fit. Tricker is down on the bench as I try to see if having Thomas and Kirk inside to try and stop us having such a leaky defence. Fiorini and Adebayo in central midfield. Diop and Holland are the wide men. Holland pushing across to the winger spot with Alabiosu also only coming back from an injury recently, so he's not fully fit, so he's on the bench. And then Fagan and Taylor Crossdale up front.
With Yeats still out injured as well, we have had a number of injuries. We have been really rough with injuries over the last couple of months. He's out for another 3 days, but you can guarantee he'll be joining the bench for the next match. I've also been playing around a little bit with some of the positions, so we're now gone back to playing with fullbacks. The deep line playmaker role and Caroleo role have returned, so we were playing box to box for a while, and I've switched them over to try and give the Caroleo role a little bit more space to run into, with Fagan now on a deep line forward role, dropping back a little bit more to try and pick up the ball in this area, maybe overlapping with Diop as the inverted winger. So going into this match, I'm only looking for a draw. I'd be perfectly happy with a draw at this point. It keeps us in the running for the playoffs, and we can try and look for a maybe more positive result in the next match against Wigan. But we do have the ball here from the goal kick. Big ball forward to Taylor Crossdale. Has to bring it back to Adebayo, looking for a little bit more space. Back to down to Fiorini. Chipped out wide to Holland, who's in some nice space. Can he try and looking for a cross? He's got the full back in front. He puts it into the centre though. Diop manages to bring the ball down. Not sure what happened there. Oh, Diop is judged to have handballed it. But it is Huddersfield this time with a goal kick. Goes out wide to their fullback, who easily goes past Diop there. Running down the right-hand side. Comes inside of his man, looking for the space. He is not being contested at all in the penalty area. And is that going to be a penalty? If Fiorini manages to win the ball back, when that situation happens then, there's that slight pause. I always worry that we're giving away a penalty. But the big balls have gone forward to Fagan. Out wide to Holland. Can we counter-attack here? Holland in the penalty area, taking it past his man. What has Holland done there? Holland had absolutely no right to score from that angle. I was expecting him to chip it into the centre for either Fagan or Taylor Crossdale, but Fagan actually gets the assist. Ball out wide to Holland, comes into the penalty area, slips past his man, and just chips it at the near post. Goalkeeper is definitely to blame there. I know the fullback didn't exactly put in a tackle, but the goalkeeper seemed to have fumbled it into the back of his own net, but we don't care. Holland claims the goal, and that goal pushes us into 5th place in the table as Huddersfield have a corner, whip to the back post, ball over the top. Nice to see a opposition corner not coming to anything, because we've been very, very vulnerable from corners in recent months, and even in this season, if I'm honest. Devine with a throw-in to Diop, to Fiorini, back to Devine, the original throw-in taker, looking to try and put a second on the board today. Adebayo back out wide to Charles, back to Adebayo, to Holland, the original score taker. Can he replicate his earlier success? He goes back to Charles, hopefully he's going to put a cross in, to Holland, to Fiorini on the edge of the penalty area. Fiorini, I'm not sure what is going on. Somebody shoot, please. Taylor Crossdale there in the centre, weak shot. It felt like nobody wanted to take a shot there. They're playing hot potato, trying to pass it between each other. But as we come up to the 45-minute mark and into half-time, I like to feel we've controlled that first half and done really well. I feel we're deserving at least a second goal in that first half, but a goal up at half-time I will definitely take. So I'm going to point the finger. Don't get complacent out there. I think that's the best route to go down in this second half. As much as I could praise the players, especially for how poorly we played up until the last couple of games, obviously I want to try and keep the positivity train going. But I think complacency is definitely something we need to focus on. Thomas clears the Huddersfield throw-in, but only as far as Mario, the Huddersfield defender, goes all the way back though to Schofield, the Huddersfield goalkeeper. Hoofs it back forward again. Huddersfield looking to try and draw level in this match. Lap side out wide to Walker, but Walker's header goes astray to Thomas. Now to Diop. Not sure why Diop is classed as S Diop, as if there's another Diop in the side. Fagan trying to find Huddersfield, trying to find Holland there. And Longman now comes forward for Huddersfield after the interception. Thomas with a good tackle, but he has gone down injured. That is not a good sign. Walker the ball into the centre. Daly with the shot. Lap side Huddersfield. Is that and Halton? I think the referee's going to bring it to a halt. So he's off. Longman is offside. Thomas went down there with an injury. I'm going to check. It says that he has come up as assistant manager, come up as a potential groin injury, hampered by injury. We're going to have to take him off. So Tricker comes on after all. What I am going to do though is 65 minutes on the clock. Encourage the players, and before we make a couple more substitutions, Tricker with a big ball forward to absolutely nobody. I presume he was just trying to kill play by putting it into no man's land. But Huddersfield are now going to look to try and build something from the back. Udoka to Daly, 1-2 there with is it Lapsite I think it is, or Lapsil? Can't tell if that's an L or a T. But Walker now coming forward on that right hand side. Devine trying to pressure him, but he goes back to Phillips. Whips in the centre to Longman, and Longman luckily is offside yet again. This time a disallowed goal. That's 2 times now that Longman has been offside and has almost beaten the offside trap. And this time he managed to get a ball into the back of the net. Luckily it was called offside, and we stay at 1-0, and with almost 75 minutes on the clock, Fagan is tired, so I'm going to bring on Lawrence, our youngster, to sit in that role. He's only 1.5 star current ability at the moment, but I'm hoping with a little bit of first team experience, he might be able to develop a little bit better. If I'm honest, actually, he's only in the side while Yeats is still injured. I'm going to take off Diop as well. He's not had a very good game. We'll swap Holland round onto that left-hand side. Let's bring Alabiosu in his more comfortable role of right winger and hope that everyone else can just see this game out. Huddersfield have a throw-in with only 10 minutes left to play. I think a goal from Huddersfield at this point could possibly confirm a draw in this match. I don't see us necessarily being able to push forward and get much more out of this game. Lap sight from range luckily goes high and wide of Huddart's goal and goes out for a goal kick. And with only a couple of minutes left of normal time, we have a highlight here. Kirk to Charles, to Alabiosu out wide, back in the middle to Fiorini. Managed to find Adebayo in a slightly more advanced position to Taylor Crossdale. Haven't seen much from him today, but he has been put through. Oh, he gets lost in the mix of central defenders there and loses out the ball, and the ball gets cleared out of play. And as time runs out, we managed to get what could be seen as a crucial 1-0 away win at playoff chasing Huddersfield. Taylor Crossdale, another dud for him today, unfortunately with a 6.6, but his partner Ricky Fagan managed to get the assist, bizarrely, that helped us get this win today. I am going to outstretch my arms. That was really special. They went to one of the big teams in the league and managed to get a win. I think Huddersfield, one of the teams that came down from the Championship last year, which, if that is the case, makes that win all the more special. Now let's just hope we can replicate that against Wigan. Well, this is a turn up for the books, and we've had a couple of rumours this season that there were clubs interested in bringing me on as their manager, or I was odds on to move to another club. This is the first club that's actually offered me an interview. Luton, who are 6th in the Championship. How did they lose their manager? So it was Dan Walder. Oh no, he's been in left manager role. Why is Billy Sharp, after less than a year of being at the club, where has he gone? So he got the manager role at Sheffield United. Sheffield United are presumably 9th in the Championship. That's a really bizarre move. And so Dan Walder must be the caretaker. He is the caretaker manager. Well, regardless of that, I am faithful to Boreham Wood. I am here to see this to the end. So I'm going to say thank you very much, Luton. But I think I'll decline. So here we are, game number 2 against Wigan. And unfortunately, Thomas is actually out injured. And is going to be out for a couple more days after he pulled up with, I think it was a pulled groin in the last match. So Billy Martin, I've given him the opportunity to try and show off for the cameras on an episode. So Tricker keeps his place on the bench. Unfortunately, Yeats didn't pass a fitness test, so he's not even able to make it onto the bench today. But we have made a couple of changes for this game. So Lawrence Gabriel comes in for Charles, who drops down to the bench, and Alabiosu comes in for Holland, both of which drop down to the bench for fitness reasons, give them a little bit of a rest. There's a number of players that are still tired from the game against Huddersfield. I don't want to change the team too much while we're currently winning, but on the flip side, I don't necessarily want to break them as well. So giving players a little bit of an opportunity, and all the positive vibes at the moment, and see if we can try and keep this winning run. Straight away, we have a highlight in the pouring rain. Kitching there with a tackle on Taylor Crossdale. He has been sent off after only 5 minutes. What an opportunity we've been provided with here. It's not one of our games in hand, so it is a full slate of games today. But we have now been handed most of a 90-minute fixture. I think 85 minutes, obviously, with added time, against a 10-men side. Fagan with the ball here in central midfield in the absolutely pouring rain I was trying to reference in the last highlight. Lawrence Gabriel here really needs to show his ability with Charles on the bench today. He's not putting stumbling over my words there. He's not put in a good performance in the times he's come off the bench so far this season. That's why Charles is never really worried about losing his spot, but really has an opportunity here to try and showcase what he can do again against a 10-men side. Devine with a free kick whipped to the back post. There's nobody there, unfortunately. Ball comes out to Billy Martin. Again, another opportunity for him to showcase what he can do as one of our youngster prospects. Alabiosu with the ball whipped in the centre. Taylor Crossdale, cheeky little tap. It looked like it was a back heel, or he kind of just sort of pulled it away from the defender and the goalkeeper there into the opposite post. Adebayo with the ball to Lawrence, who put the ball through to Alabiosu, who's in loads of space, pulled it into Taylor Crossdale, and he sort of just chipped it in with his side foot into the opposite corner. Didn't see what goal that is for him this season, but it's good to see him back to scoring ways, back on the score sheet to make it 1-0. Right, Gabriel with a throw-in. I'm not sure why on the left-hand side he's taking a throw-in when he is a right-back, but Diop with the ball in the penalty area goes past the man to Fagan. Fagan, while falling over, manages to get his 5th goal of the season. I thought that looked like a penalty there, but while going over, he managed to fall into the ball and put it into the back of the net. I'm not going to query how it goes in. They all count the same way. Diop there manages to go past his man, slots it into Fagan. Fagan actually wasn't tackled. He just threw himself at the ball, determined to get there first, to make it 2-0 just before half-time. And we have another throw in here with Devine. Diop comes inside using his inverted winger role there. Fiorini with the ball. Chips out, not sure who that was to, but it managed to come to Gabriel, to Adebayo, back out to Gabriel. Can he whip it into the centre? No, it goes back to Adebayo yet again. The doors are now closing there, but he manages to find Alabiosu, who's free in the penalty area. 2 men in front of him. He is taken out. We have a penalty and an opportunity now. I presume that's going to be Taylor Crossdale, surely. Taking the penalty there. No, it's Fagan taking the penalty. Number 10 puts it in for his 2nd of the game, our 3rd before half time, and we are definitely taking advantage of facing a 10-men side here. Fagan easily puts it home. Keeper guesses the right way, but doesn't dive far enough to be able to get the ball, and that puts us now up into 4th in the table with what I assume at this point, bar an utter collapse in the second half, which I'm not writing off, but bar a collapse in the second half, will be back-to-back wins on an episode for the first time in a little while. Let's look at the fitness of some of the players. I'm thinking at half-time maybe we're going to bring on Nicole in that deep line playmaker role, take off Farini, who's a little bit tired. Maybe take off Alabiosu now, not to change the entire central midfield at halftime. That is a recipe for a second half collapse. I can see that in advance. So just make the one change for the time being, but we can definitely start looking at taking players off to rest them very early in this game, especially if we get another goal. Devine with a corner, whip to the back post. Alabiosu for his 4th goal of the season. It does show how low scoring our strikers have been this season. The fact that Alabiosu's only 1 behind Fagan. Now, I know Fagan was a little bit out of favour last year, but Alabiosu, say at the back post, but close enough, manages to get past his man, puts it in for 4-0, and that means I'm going to keep it till 60 minutes on the clock. It is substitute o'clock, and we're now going to make a couple of changes. Billy Martin is really struggling, so I'm going to take Trick for him there, and I think we're going to take off. Who else do I take off? Who do I not want to get damaged? And for the final change, let's take off who I said I was going to. Let's take off Adebayo. My assistant manager says to bring on whom, so I'm going to bring him on in his stead. That's one thing I definitely still need to do come the summer, is I still need to try and get more depth in our midfield. We don't have many options outside of our starting midfielders. And so trying to bring in either youngster prospects or, but at the very least, like we do in our centre-back options, I want to bring at least one more key centre-back option that we can have in rotation, so the rest of the guys aren't playing every minute of every game and just completely breaking them come 2/3 of the way through the season. And we have a highlight here from a throw-in. Fagan puts it out wide to Alabiosu. To whom? Nice chip back out wide to Alabiosu. Can he get a cross in? Goes past his man, chips in the centre, looking for Fagan. The ball is cleared though by the Wigan defender, and the ball comes forward this time down the left-hand side with Devine. Back to Nicol. Can he put a cross in? Does. Whips it into whom? To Alabiosu, who just toe pokes it in to the back of the net for his second of the game. I believe, has he scored? He has scored in this game. I'm not going completely mad, have I? Yes, he did. He scored the 4th goal. So Alabiosu gets 2 on the trot to tie with Fagan for 5 apiece for the season. Nicole, whom just nods it on. Very nicely done. Very unselfishly done by whom there. To Alabiosu. Puts it in. We have 5. We have another highlight here. We want 6. We want 6. Come on, boys. Let's really put this lot to the sword. The Wigan fans, who like us, were only 1 point outside the playoffs before this game, must be absolutely distraught after this result. Nicole with a shot from range, unfortunately goes over the top. I know these guys were down to 10 men. It's not necessary. It's not a result you'd see against 11 versus 11. But what a positive, morale-boosting result this must be. And what's going on here is Cross being given a second yellow card. Wigan are now down to 9 men. This is just getting worse and worse for Wigan. That is definitely salt in the wounds for Wigan there. Utter domination against, that'll be the headline, 5-star performance against 9 men Wigan. So that's back-to-back wins, back-to-back clean sheets as we put 5 past Wigan.